Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks video. In tonight's video, we are going to be talking about how to win solo games in Fortnite. I have two pretty nice wins here that I'm going to be dissecting. Smart plays I made, mistakes I made, why I did different things in my whole decision-making process in tonight's video. If you guys could drop a like on this thing, that would be very, very much appreciated. Let's go ahead and go for 378 likes. If you could hit that, that would be amazing. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and hit that bell, turn on the notifications so you can have a chance to get first on all of my future videos. All right, let's get right into it and talk about it. So two gameplays here, two victory royales that I've cut up of solo wins, and basically I'll talk about what I'm doing here. So early game here, right away I notice I get the first kill, then I go into the second fight, we trade damage right there, but I realize immediately, okay, I'm out of materials, and as soon as you're out of materials, you need to probably find natural cover or, you know, cover that's already on the ground and create separation between your enemies. So the first thing I do is find natural cover, run away into the building. The only reason I did that as a play was because I didn't have materials. So in that situation, that was a smarter play. And then of course, create the distance. The enemy gets a bit confused and I'm able to win that. Next kill here, just another one where I'm tracking an enemy. I'm tracking, drop down, and be sure to hit that headshot, which of course is very, very effective with this gold shotgun. And already we're off to a good start out of the good old classic retail row, which is my personal favorite landing spot in this game. Who knows what's going to be happening to retail row in season 9. Next, I find another player over here who, of course, tries to make the play to run to natural cover, but gladly for me, I have these explosives, of course, do some damage on this player. Looks like he was kind of a more beginner player, and we're able to get that kill. So a good start here with 33 left, 4 kills, and I am about to come up out of retail row. Another fight is taking place over here, and immediately when you see a third party like this, I want to do my best to try to get both of these kills. However, the AK-47, aka the heavy assault rifle, is not as good for spraying down walls as something like a SCAR or a blue AR would be, but immediately I realized I want to pressure this player right after he was just in another fight, keep the high ground with him, just keep blocking him off as much as I can. He tries to block me off, but eventually we get above him or around the same ground and are able to take him out because that player was, of course, already weak. When you know someone is already weak, now I talk about basically always aiming for the head with the shotgun, but if you know someone already is less, like, super duper low health, you might as well just aim for the body shot or whatever, you know. But for the majority, your first shot, you want to crack someone with the shotgun always to the head. But once you know someone has, like, let's say if someone has 30, 40 health, it's not a big deal. Anyway, here we rush this player. Once again, I'm always just shotgunning and then building. Shotgun, if I'm above the player, it's a shotgun and then build a floor while jumping. If I'm, you know, on an even level or in front of them, it's a shotgun and then build a wall. And that is the #1 way to get kills and do damage while also preventing yourself from taking damage, which is such a big, big deal. Right here, I jump onto this player who eventually blocks me off and gets the high ground for a second. And these are the worst fights. So awkward when it's around a tree. Most of this is the visual tracking when you're around a tree is very, very tough. So most of this is just I'm tracking this player with my audio. That's mostly what is happening here. Eventually knock this player down by a lot of the times when people are locked into a 1x1, it can be kind of tough to find where they are from the side or the top. But actually by knocking out the floor beneath them, a lot of players aren't as quick to rebuild that. They don't expect that to happen. Anyway, here I get into a good fight with this, of course, soccer skin. I get into a tough situation there where my build isn't placed, but I'm like, okay, it's all good. Resetting. I'm taking, you know, taking this fight on as much as I think I can. Right there, the player has the floor in on me. So immediately I'm going to do a little stare down there and try to make sure that if that player edits it, I'm ready to hit the shot on them right away. Of course, that player doesn't end up editing, so I make a very smart move, which I jump to the side and connect, which is sort of a move you have to practice in creative. But by doing that, I basically get the free high ground right away just by knowing that move, and I'm able to capitalize off that to win that gunfight. And now we're going into the final 4 with 7 kills, so in a pretty good position. And at this point, I'm looking at a couple things. How much backup shields do I have? So the first thing is I don't have any 50 pots, slurp juices, chug jugs, anything like that. If I get hit down in HP, I can't heal. I can't go up past 150 because, of course, I have the minis to do that, but I don't have anything that would take me past that as of right now in this inventory. So I'm keeping that in mind. I don't want to take damage. I'd rather be 200 for the final 1v1 than 150. It's just common sense. So I'm making a smart play here, and I'm rotating a little bit early. I got some damage in on that player behind me. However, I made the right decision there, in my opinion, to say, okay, am I going to rush this player, use a lot of my mats, who's out of the storm anyway, or am I going to just rotate in early, which eventually works out because these players were right here. I rotate early, get some SMG spray onto this player, and right away we're into a building battle, which right here I'm just trying to always maintain the high ground, and then once you have the high ground, it's up to you what you want to do. If they try to build up, of course you want to match them and maintain. If they don't, you can go for the fight and win that. So right here, I'm in a great position because I have a glide to redeploy. And when you have a glide to redeploy, I talk about it. I don't think you need to carry it all the time, but if you have it, abuse it. And this is an example of me abusing it right now. I can just go up here and get the high ground, and if they shoot me down, I'm not concerned. That's why I'm just I'm not reinforcing it at all. It's just one ramp. If they shoot me down, I'll just glide over to the other mountain that's in the next zone. So I'm taking advantage of this high position, getting some damage, and of course, I then make the conscious decision because I don't know where the other player is, and there's of course 3 players left, which one is me, but then 2 of the other players. So I make the decision to make the rotation, which ends up working out. Of course, I get on the side where I can get damage on that player easily. Then I set up just a mini little base here, nothing too fancy because I thought that the other player might be coming from that way, and bada bing, bada boom, I'm able to take out both those players by smart positioning and using that glider to reposition late game, which is absolutely amazing. All right, going into the second game here. So that was a 10 kill win. Smack that like button if you guys are still watching and stick around because here's the next gameplay here, which I think you can learn a lot from this gameplay as well. So right here, I'm just blocking off, making sure this guy doesn't have an angle at me, blocking off as much as I can and waiting for my opportunity to take the shot and get damage in. Now, a lot of times when you see a player, you might think, oh, this guy's not the best. You might just want to rush them and deal with them really, really quick. But usually it's better to take it slow and try to deal the most damage that you can. And of course, don't take damage, which I was doing a perfect job there. But of course, someone shows up and steals my kill on the last shot. So in that situation, it would have been nice to get that kill, but still taking no damage is prime awesome because now for this next player, even though I didn't get the kill, I got pure health for this player who tries to make a jumping out the side jump shot, which is a smart play. Right here, he boxes up. Number one thing you want to do, as soon as players box up, you want to try to take the wall from them quick before they find their surroundings, before they pop a mini, before they set up with a pyramid inside, before they have the roof and the pyramid above. Before people have their bearings, it's a lot easier to just double swipe, take that wall, and then you can edit out the top 3, edit out a hole in the middle, edit out an L shape on either side, whatever you want to do, and expose them and get that damage in a fight like that. So right here, another game where you can see I got a couple kills off early, and I'm rotating into the zone at this point when I hear other players around me, and this guy, of course, is flying in. A lot of players will do this. Some players are just extremely aggressive. I edit down on this guy, but it only hits for 33, which seemed kind of unfortunate. Anyway, I edit down once again, and what he ends up going into a 1-by-1, which, like I say, you want to take it quick. Right there, I take it quick, but he's able to get behind the ramp, which is a smart play. Even though I have the wall, he's behind the ramp. Right here, I end up getting the wall on this side, though, and I'm able to punish based off that and get some damage in. Next, another player ends up trying to basically third-party me right here at the end, but this player, the zone, it ends up being far. This player we don't really end up fighting. He kind of just stays on the low ground. I sort of stay on the high ground, and then we both end up basically rotating. I take the jump pad because you can see here I beat him to the high ground, and then eventually he tries to jump pad away. Doesn't really work out, and yeah, that's sort of it. I used his jump pad to rotate, which I realized was the smart move because, I mean, the zone was just unbelievably far, as you'll see here in a second, because we go over to the snow biome. So 17 left, 4 kills, nice inventory here where I have a 50 pot. So if I take a little damage, it's okay. I can heal a little bit. I still don't want to. My materials are around 1,400, which is nice, but I'm a material guy. I want to be able to I want to have 2K plus materials going into that late game if possible. Right here, I get some good damage in on this player, and I immediately go on the offense, do a jumping SMG spray, which is usually pretty nice. If you don't want to die, like even if you challenge a player and expose your body to where the player could get a shotgun shot in on you, if you're jumping or like flying through the air and spraying with an SMG or a shotgun, it's a lot harder to hit you. And even if they do hit you, it's a lot harder to hit you pure with like as many pellets for as much damage or a headshot or anything like that. Anyway, here I'm rotating in, moving in slowly. I have the one jump pad, so of course if things get hot here, if there's enemies on either side of me, if I'm in a place where I can't really get away from a situation, I'm probably just gonna jump pad out. But I think I can handle this for now, so I'm gonna stay in it. This first player, I go and get the high ground on, and I'm doing something where I'm trying to stay above, I'm rotating in. Eventually I get the ability to spray down this player with the SMG, which SMGs are kind of nice. Like, a lot of players are either like sprayers or builders or, different things like that. But in reality, you need to do a little bit of both. And if you're a good player, you watch pro players, when they get a little bit of damage on a player late game in a scrim, they just start spraying and hoping they get some extra damage in there because it is an effective way. Right here, I mess up my builds a little bit. I take my time, making sure I'm protected, reset. And here I'm in a 4-player left situation. So once again, I do have a glider redeploy, which the thing about gliders, I like having it when the zone is around mountains or I have like a lot of mats. Like right here I have over 2k mats. So this is a great, and the zone is on a mountain. So this is perfect for me to have glider redeploy because I can challenge players like this. I mean, I really don't want to get shot down, so I'm still double reinforcing it. But if I do get shot down, it's not the end of the world, right? And that's sort of why I like being in a position like that. Now I realize I run over here, get this player's mats, and I'm getting even more materials now. We got like 2,500. I can camp on the high ground. If I have the gliders, if I have this many mats, there's no reason why I shouldn't be on the high ground. So what I do, I realize 3 players left again. I rotate early. I set myself up in a nice metal or steel base because that's what you want to do, right? You want to get set up in there so that no one can infiltrate it. I set up these traps just in case someone tries to jump pad in on me just because I have so much damn stuff. I have 2 jump pads for rotations and I have a glider, which jump pads are still useful. They're not as important to have if you do have the glider, but jump padding, you can also glide a lot quicker through the air. It's different than having a glider redeploy. So right here I can go, usually you only want to build your base like 4 tiers high. When you have a redeploy, also you can go a little bit higher. So right here, my first thing is to spray in on this enemy. And late game, a lot of people think like accuracy and the accuracy stats really matter, which they do, but accuracy stats at the end of the game really just depends. Accuracy matters 1000%, but accuracy stats really just depend on how much you spray. And if you have 1,000 mats like I do here, I'm basically trading ammo for materials, which is probably a good trade for me because let's be honest, with 2 enemies left, 3 players total, including myself, am I going to go through 929 AR bullets? I think we can all bet no. So why not spray? Why not put the pressure? Maybe get some damage in. At least burn through their materials and just make them mess up. Maybe take some storm damage. Always spraying. But then when that enemy has a peek back at you or a spot where they might be peeking with a sniper or, of course, another player, you can see how I'm blocked off all my sides there. So wherever that third party was, couldn't get damage in. I'm able to take off and get a free kill because of that. Or not a free kill, but a nice kill because I'm set up and that player's rotating in. Seems like a free kill, but it's based off solely your good positioning. So here I realize the next zone is going to be a rotation. So this is where I can decide to make either a jump pad rotation or a glider one. I don't currently know where this player's at, but I do hear a hamster ball, so that's why I'm not too afraid about using my jump pad right now. Obviously, the reasoning behind that being if I'm in a glider or if the player's in a hamster ball, they can't shoot me down even if I'm in the glider redeploy, right? So right here, this guy goes for his hamster ball again. I want to get as much damage in as I can on that and destroy them because they only have like 200 health now. That was the right play, and I had a good angle there where I was about to go a little aggressive, but this player takes the rift, and I take this as an opportunity to maybe get some damage in. However, this player was floating pretty chill and pretty far away, so it was kind of hard to hit shots. So what I decided is, okay, I'm going to rotate into the zone where the zone is next, and this is how you want to do it with the redeploy. You know, slide down a little bit. Don't forget to hit it, though. You know, that can, of course, really cost you. Make the rotation over, and now it's just I'm in a shooting gallery. Obviously my aim is not really working out too well here, but never give up. Don't give up at spraying them in the air because look at this, 66 headshot, then 33 a bunch of times, and I take all of his health right as he touches the ground for a victory royale. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. A couple things you can notice about how I rotated early, how I used the glider redeploy, and how I was able to win games without taking that much damage. Get more solo wins in Fortnite Battle Royale. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on those notifications if you guys are new. I'll catch you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.